Yeah, because we should get Mickey acquainted with the YouTube schedule. Like I sent it over, and then there were some questions about it. So if you're okay with us talking about that here, Mickey, this would be a good spot to talk about it.
Cool.
Um, so, um, Mickey, do you know how to make YouTube videos?
Yes, I have an
Right.
astrology YouTube channel. It's called Cat and Mouse Astrology because I
Okay.
do it with my friend Cat,
Oh
and
wow.
we are real we're loose, man. I mean, we are. We didn't do one for this new moon. We typically just do the moons, and we didn't do it this time. She took on a full-time teaching job, so sometimes I do them without her. If I do them without her, I usually like just do like a quick slide thing because I'm pretty good making visuals. I use Adobe, so I can make like put a pretty picture in and put some words on it, stuff.
Oh,
So
cool.
sometimes I'll do that with astrology. So my face isn't there. I'm just going through a few videos. So for my channel, I've done a bunch of things that are like 7 minutes long. I could easily cut it back to like 3 minutes long.
I think our last ones were like 10, 13, and
Oh,
17 minutes. It really just depends on short isn't necessarily better, although if that's your style, like a short style is fine. There's no parameters as far as length goes. Kind of the whole point of that YouTube schedule is like, so we do live streams pretty much every day on the channel, but then these solo YouTube things are like, it's like just chances for us to all act out our characters of like, what's your version of a bookshelf tour and what's your version of an art, and we time them to the moon. So like the bookshelf stuff is like when the moon's in Gemini, and like the art stuff is when the moon's in Libra. And so they were kind of just, you can do as many of them as you want or as few of them as you want. And I know you'd asked about if, because you're want to hang out with us on Mondays and Thursdays, and so you'd ask, should you do them on Mondays and Thursdays? Some of them they're on different days and they're timed to the moon. So it's like we're releasing them on those days, even though they're not necessarily our days that we do meetings or whatever. Um, does that make more sense?
absolutely. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So just checking out the schedule. Is the schedule updated regularly? That was a pretty long schedule. That went through most of everything for a while.
Yeah, we did a whole quarter long schedule. So
So
yeah,
post
isn't it?
with the theme.
Would you say?
Post with the theme that's listed on the schedule.
Totally, if you want to.
Yeah, cool.
Kimber, this is Mickey. Alexander, this is Mickey. Mickey's joining us to be a Facebook and YouTube actor. Hey, Lisa, how's it going? Lisa, you're welcome to come out in the room if you want. I don't know how much you want to be involved with the production crew, but yeah. Um, so yeah, Mickey's been around for a long time. Mickey's an astrologer. So one of the things we did talk about this week at production meetings, and we want to like share with the crew, is that we're kind of hitting a wall with consent to talk about people's charts on the show, and we wanted to kind of make a policy. All that pile up in Capricorn were like made new policies when the moon was on that pile up in Capricorn, and the policy is kind of that we want people who are on the show to be willing to talk about their charts and the charts of other people, because otherwise we get overstimmed with trying to remember whose chart we can talk about and this and that. And it's like part of being an astrological production is talking about astrology. And so does anyone here have a problem with people talking about their chart?
Talk away.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Is
And
there a way to initiate a pop-up before people join?
yeah, that I don't really know, like how to make, like, that was an idea people had of like, if you come in this room, you consent to people talking about your chart. Like we kind of need like a pop up like that, but we don't, because this came up at the open mic on Friday. We had this open mic, and there's people who came in the room kind of unexpectedly, and then I started talking about one of their charts, and then they got kind of upset, and I was like, ah, God, I'm sorry, and I was like making amends afterwards. But I think it's stressful to try to remember what we can and can't say, and so we got to err on the side of like we do talk about charts on the show.
It could be a chat message. You could
Okay.
send a chat message at the beginning, an auto chat message at the beginning of each meeting that just says, by attending this meeting, you are allowing us to talk about your chart.
I like that.
Click here.
You don't
Oh,
even have to click just by being here. By
Yeah,
attending
this
the
is for
meeting,
like
you
if you're
are-
in the StreamYard or if you are in the live chat.
I think
Terms
on
and
the
conditions.
camera.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. JC, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess this is backing up a little bit, but a little bit more about the whole concept is that like we talk about our own charts a lot. So if people have been hanging out with us, they kind of know that we talk about our own charts. And the reason we're doing that is not just because we think we're awesome, but also because it's like it's better than talking about some famous person's chart, like, and trying to say like, oh, this meant that to them in their life, because how do you know, right? So but like us talking about our charts is us like showing that like astrology works for us and how it works for us, and I think that is a differentiator. And I think that I would like it if we did have an agreement that if you come onto the StreamYard, that means that if people know your chart information, they can talk about it, and that you're consenting for other people to talk about your chart, and you're free to not wonder whose chart that I know of that I should or shouldn't, and But anyway, that
I want to erase the question. Is it okay if I talk about your chart? Is it okay if I talk about? That's how we've been handling it before, and it's just that's redundant, and it would bother the listener, and it's kind of like, like Mickey, for example, your character is a consciousness worker, and like the fact that you have all those 12th house planets, like we might want to speak to that in order to build your character. Like, oh, we got Mickey with her 12th house stellium in here, the consciousness worker. Like, if we can't talk about the chart signature, we can't really build your character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. And another level, I've been involved in some online discussions with people that were like all freaked out, like, oh, I've got all this stuff in my 12th house. I'm going to jail, or I'm going to be locked up as a mentally ill person. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. So far, not yet.
Mhm.
There's other things you can do with that energy. So I love this whole remediation thing, Andy, that you've got, that this is all about in so many ways. So yeah, I think part of the character is being open about what the chart is, which lets people learn and grow from our experiences
Yeah.
dealing with what we're dealing with.
Like Kimber, if you share some of your embroidery work, I want to be able to be like, oh, Mars and Cancer, crafting, like it's an enjoyment of a celebration of the character. And to have to stop every time and ask for permission is like, it really inhibits the show.
Also, it puts people kind of on the spot too, so they might feel pressured to say yes rather than giving a genuine yes. So I think if we can avoid it altogether, it's just a win-win.
So what do you guys think about the idea that Mickey presented of having it just be in the chat at the beginning of events, and then when new people arrive in the room, we share it in the chat again?
Yeah, I like this being in the we could put it in the private chat.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's not posted on YouTube and Facebook like, hey, if you're in the room, but like in the private chat, kind of like the things like Zoom gives or Teams give a pop-up.
I don't know how to do the private chat.
Well, yeah, you see private chat comments and recording over on your right-hand side.
Yep.
Oh, private chat. I see.
So if I type in there, this is only for us, only us 6 people in the room see that. Nobody saw it on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay, so can you guys see my comment there?
Yes.
Okay, and then the comments up top is the public chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha. Okay. So I think that should be something that we diligently do, and that we have to teach people for the next 6 months. Like every time we institute a new policy, we kind of have to teach people. And when we ask people to come on our show as guests, I think we should tell them that we would love to have you as a guest. Just so you know, the one thing we kind of ask is that you're willing to talk about your chart. Like Ricky always asks for people's birth info, and then you know what I mean. That you know, so I think we should just tell people when we invite them on our shows also that might be a possibility.
Do you think it would be beneficial during the 6 months that we're training the audience to have some sort of a banner on the live stream, or are we not?
I mean, we could do that. We could say, we talk. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we could do something like we talk about our charts here, and then it could be something like this, and then I put it like this.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, is
Yeah.
that too much? Is that overkill?
No.
Or this. Let me see if that worked. Did it work?
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa! I like that.
I
That's
like
cool.
that. That's sweet.
How'd you do that?
You know,
Under comments and banners, and I just made one.
Okay. Oh, banners.
That's great.
how do people feel about if we like overdo it and we say like danger, danger, we talk about our charts here or something like that? That's even like a little over the top, like to normalize it faster.
To be silly. It's like the warnings you see on TV episodes. We talk about charts, we eat sweets.
I mean,
There you go.
Maybe some emojis.
That's great.
yeah, I mean, I think it can be all of those things, right? Like where we can be over the top about it. I mean, you know how that the time thing it was always talked about to the point where people are so sick of it. It's like we want it to be part of our ethos, a part of our community is that we celebrate and talk about charts like full on because I don't know if you guys have ever known astrologers who are hang out in astrology communities and then are like, I don't like when my charts talk about. I was like, you're basically infringing on our party right now. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
now we have a confidentiality clause while we're trying to party. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's okay to be over the top about it. What do you think about that, you guys?
It's also like dress for the part you want, and we're all here like becoming famous people. You know what I mean? And it's like people are gonna know stuff about us. So dress for the part you want. Put your chart out there.
I'm not sure why people would be upset about talking about their chart.
Well, you can see a lot in a chart. I mean, it's like being a remote viewer for the government.
I think it can be very vulnerable, but I think that's choosing to be in this space or to be a viewer.
Well, some
Right.
people think that you can put a curse on a chart, and I'm just like, yeah, my magic spell like kills your curse. Like, just toughen up, Cupcake. Show your
I have
chart,
one.
man.
Yeah.
But
Or biases that you're not comfortable with. Like, oh, you have this placement. I know all people with that are this. So
and I
Every
love
chart
talking
is a day that
about-
existed in time, right? Or a moment that existed in time. We are a moment in time. So, I mean, on some level, you know, so what? I mean, I'm a moment in time, but there were other people in that moment in time too.
right.
We have astrological twins, and that moment in time existed without me also. So, I don't know. So why do you have to be jealous about your moment in time? Share, have fun. I don't know.
Kimber, what were you saying?
I was just saying I like talking about my moon Pluto because I've had people say like, oh no, this, and I feel like as an astrologer, it helps destigmatize that placement for some people. Or it's
Mhm.
like with I like that Jen and I are talking about our charts because I want to model vulnerability or that like I'm not perfect with my Cancer Mars all the time. Like it's just, I think it helps people actually want to engage or talk or ask questions when we're like, no, we're not just practicing astrology, we're also living it, like we're humans. So I think that's really powerful, like to kind of just own your bad placements.
Yeah, that's kind of what Mickey was saying about the 12th house. Like, we can empower people who have placements similar to ours. Now, I do want us to say something about this. Okay, so let's say somebody gets mad at us for over talking about their chart. I want us to not feel bad, like we did something wrong. I want us to then educate them about the Moira Press studio and how it works. Like, so we'll be like, I'm so sorry if you were offended. Sorry, that's how this studio works. Like, because that's what we're getting to is like, we don't want to feel like we've done something wrong when it's actually the culture of the studio. This is what we do here. You know, it's
Mhm.
astrological production. It's not that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Should we
Yeah.
put something in
But
the
you're-
YouTube description?
maybe, I don't know.
How
Well,
serious?
You're only going to talk about the charts of people who are on this video, right? It's not like you're pulling a nun off the street and saying, "Come here, ma'am, we're going to talk about your chart."
I think Jen and I might talk about someone's chart placement, but it's like today we had the planets in detriment and fall, but people were sharing. I also liked, I think it was Randall that clearly put their own planets, but then said asking for a friend. But I think if they're asking about their chart, it's different because that's almost like they're consenting to like talking about the placements they share. But if I know someone in the chat that didn't list the houses, I'm acting as if I don't know the houses because they didn't give that information to the group.
You're not outing anybody.
Right. Like I'm acting as if I don't know this person because I don't want to be saying, oh, I also know you're doing this. Like, no, I'm just going to focus on, they said a Leo sun. So let's just focus on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What?
I have to say, that if people want to be actors on a stage, that's for me the equivalent to coming onto the stream and showing your face on the stream and talking with us at the same level. Then you have to be an actor and you have to be at the same level, and you can't be like, oh, but don't, you know. And I know that it was a different situation on Friday, that we were inviting people who might not have known as much about our shows. So I'm glad we're clarifying this.
Well, and I think we do need to clarify. Kimber's saying there's someone in the chat. What if someone shows up in the chat and wants some advice? I saw Kimber today on the show ask, "Can I have consent to talk about your chart?" I think if someone's in the chat, that's different.
Yeah.
But if they're on the screen, that you're consenting to have your chart talked about.
Can
Like
I
that's
say one thing?
Yeah.
Like if I'm a viewer for Show Your Work, you asked one time if you could talk about my Mercury Saturn. I feel that your actor document, maybe if you're like a formal actor, like you're doing this, if you're coming to Everything Under the Sun every week, we should assign it. But then like you have my consent as a viewer to always talk about my chart, like on an episode, if that makes sense. Cause you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you need to ask me, even if I'm in the chat, if you need to talk about my chart because I'm a part of Moira Press.
So maybe the formal actors, like this includes Mickey, Kimber, Jenna, Jay-Z, Alexander, like the formal actors consent to have their chart talked about no matter where they are, if they're in the chat or they're on the screen. But then if some rando person comes into the chat, any new person, we're going to have to kind of get that disclosure or that disclaimer going. I mean, or we're going to have that conversation with them, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What about us all sharing our charts with each other too? Like, I don't care if you all have my chart details and you save them in your software. Like, that's not an issue for me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Same here.
Okay. Maybe we could do like an email for all of us where we're just like, hey, shoot your details so everyone can. Because, like, for instance, when we were talking about progressed moon conjunct our natal chirons, like, I could have done the prep work for that and been like, hey, I took 10 minutes and this is all of the times for you guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, right on. Yeah, cool.
So maybe we should have an email for all the actors at the Moira Press. It's like a group email, and I can just BCC everyone so you don't see each other's emails, or I can just have it in there.
You can have my chart, but not my email.
Well, and maybe I kind of would rather so you could see each other's emails so you can get.
Yeah, I'm good with all that.
I am too.
Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah, the Google Groups is easy with that because then everybody's just part of the thing. So
Okay.
you see everybody's emails and.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be cool if we could all get to each other as a crew, you know, in the background, if there's any like pre-production, post-production, anything, you know, kind of thing. Okay. So, okay, let's move on. I think we got that handled and we can keep talking about it for 6 months if we want. Mickey, welcome to the crew. How can we kind of onboard you? Is there anything you need to know from these other actors or anything you want to talk about?
Ooh, yeah. Can I ask questions? Ooh.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So what are you guys talking about on your? What's your acting thing? Do you guys mind introducing yourselves and telling me your character?
Yes, and also we have a website. Wait, here I can put it in the chat. I can put it in the public chat too.
I'm trying to figure out who my character is.
Are you going to become a clown?
For
Oh, you
yeah.
know, I'm down with that actually.
Yeah.
Oh, that
So my
comment
good friend
failed
was
to
a clown, and
post.
she was
All
awesome.
right. Well, I don't know. It failed to post, but here I'll put it in the private chat. But anyway, this is for our clown characters though, and like Kimber doesn't have a clown character yet, but we're developing that, I guess. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sad
But
clown.
who are you, Jay-Z?
My character is called Z0, and he is kind of a half hacker, half musician. He's like, his makeup is half of his face is white, half is black, and yeah, he is like kind of like in the machine, like hacker style, but like when he needs to, he'll just like bust out in the front of the stage and like be a performer. So he's kind of a switch in that way of being either a leader or a follower.
And who's your Jay-Z character?
Oh, who's my Jay-Z character? Well, my Jay-Z character is like the real world in a way version of that. And maybe Z0 is the more extreme version of it. But my Jay-Z character also, you know, has a grand shrine in water, has a kite chart, and has like a pile up in the, you know, in my 12th house Pisces. So there's a lot of that going on with me as well.
Cool.
Jenna?
Sure. So my clown character's name is Miri, and it's kind of a spin-off of the fact that my birth name was Marie, and now my legal name, because I was adopted, my middle name just also happened to be Marie. So like it was a coincidence. So I'm like kind of playing on that. And then Mir is a Persian word that means sun, but it's also the name of an angel, and I'm a Leo sun. And my whole character's thing is that I talk to angels because I have working relationships with Poseidon and Asclepius and Hera and a couple other gods after I met them when I went to Greece, and it was completely unexpected. And so it's kind of like a play on that, and like doing a lot of like trauma shadow work and integrating shadow and learning how to like kind of destigmatize shadows and you know the full range of archetype and understanding that. So that's her stuff. And then and then we found out yesterday that my Pluto line actually runs through Iran, so it's kind of funny that it's like ties it all together with the like Persian word and everything. And my dogs are Persian, that's why. So anyways, okay, and then me as a person, I'm an evolutionary astrologer, and it is pretty accurate. My clown is pretty much me. I just don't have face paint on. And I do a podcast with Kimber on Mondays, and then I also do Everything Under the Sun with Andy. I co-host Everything Under the Sun, and I co-host with Kimber. And then I'm around other than that.
Cool. And I've seen you guys on some of these shows because I've seen some of these. So yeah, I've definitely seen you. Cool, Jenna.
Thanks.
Kimber?
Right now I do not have a clown character, but I did go down a rabbit hole after we talked about it on Saturday, and I'm very excited to talk through some things. But I'm a character of myself on Existential Side Quests. And we did pilot, well, I think I want to be a little political, not super political, but just the right like dose of Aquarian. And we did sort of dip our toe there at the end of today's episode, and that was nice.
Nice. We don't really have a political character.
Yeah, just more like the protesty type character of like, yeah.
Nice. Alexander?
I am not a character, and it's okay if they talk about my chart. I'm here because I'm friends very good friends, I think, with both Jay-Z and Andy, and they know more about my chart than I do. So it's okay if they talk about my chart. I'm an outsider. I don't have a character. What you see is what you get, pretty much.
The outsider character.
The outsider.
I feel like you are a non-astrologer character who's always like stymied by astrology, who's kind of a nihilist and like. But really, Alexander's here because he has a lot of history and production. He's written plays, screenplays. He ran a radio show for many years, so he gives us a lot of consulting on production stuff. And he's also written some scripts or a script for us.
Sweet.
Do you want to tell us about your?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, do you want to tell us about your character?
Yeah, you guys have got my juices flowing about what the clown character would be. I'm not real sure. I like the idea that shadow. I've done a lot of shadow work stuff, kind of from the perspective of Native American astrology. But the work I studied was not a Native American guy. I can't remember his name right now. I can put it in the link. So I don't want to do any cultural misappropriation or anything, but he does medicine wheel astrology. Has anybody done any medicine wheel stuff? So like I've used the medicine wheel as an as a calendar time system for a long time. So it'd be fun to do a class on that. Some Native Americans are not okay with your using their teachings, and some are way into it. So I think, I'd have to talk to Andy about it before I did anything like that, just to see, maybe give a disclaimer up front. And I'm really into Celtic stuff. Like I've done a lot of research on Celtic mythography and characters. So that's kind of where I'm pointing, is to do something sort of, maybe not too deadly.
Ooh, I'm excited for that. I found out I'm from that area recently. If you couldn't tell, because I couldn't.
There's great Irish, lore characters that are just very fun. And I'm a rat in the Chinese astrology. So I go by Mickey Mouse sometimes. So I don't know. Maybe I could do some clowny Mickey Rat thing, or I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. So I'll have to think about it. But I'm into the clown thing. I can come up with something.
Do you want to talk about the consciousness worker thing or no?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's my main gig, is consciousness. I write about consciousness, and I just finished a book on trading consciousness for fun. I mean, it's a humorous book, but it's about 4 college students that trade consciousness with 4 billionaires to transfer their money to charity. And I had a lot of fun torturing the billionaires in my book. That's how I dealt with the past couple of years politically. So I've researched consciousness from the perspective of quantum mechanics. So I'm really into QM, and to me that relates to astrology directly. So I would have a lot of fun doing, Andy talked about doing like debate type stuff, where, because like a lot of astrologers see astrology as merely psychological correlation. But I think that there's actually something physical, because the moon moves the tides.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I think that there's actually a physical correlation. I don't know.
That'd be a great debate. Is astrology psychological or also physical? Yeah.
Yeah. So that, in that way, I'm into consciousness, because consciousness came first, in my opinion. And so I read a lot of physicists that voice that perspective, and some that don't. I'm into some physicists that don't voice that perspective. They're really cool. But so I'm into that. That topic is a general thing that I'm really into, and I feel that astrology is a part of that topic, because astrology better maps our consciousness than any other tool we have.
Yeah.
Have you ever studied fractal geometry?
I'll be right back.
Oh my God, we're connecting. I've been calling this in for years. Okay. I was a math major, so I've been trying to. like blend math into astrology, specifically the nodal story and reincarnation. And I'm like, there has to be a fractal that represents this. Because I'm pretty sure the Koch curve represents time and the decision making that we do. And I'm like, all right, if we start here, but I've been needing someone to bounce ideas off of.
Ooh, yeah, I would have talked to you about that. Yeah.
Yes. Ooh,
I mean,
fun.
Yeah. Mandelbrot. It's at the
Ah,
Mandelbrot.
so excited.
Sorry.
All right. Side note.
Fractals are fun.
Yes.
Do you have any questions about how the Facebook acting thing works?
I do. So on the Thursday, like I'm going to join Thursday. What do we do? What's our focus?
Oh, and Everything Under the Sun is a random content show. So we all bring a question and then we roll the dice to see whose question comes up. So just bring a question for the audience or the group, basically.
Should I be in like costume? That's not the clown thing, so I don't need to be dressed up.
No, but you can dress as yourself. I don't know. How do you guys approach Everything Under the Sun?
Relaxed.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's kinda
Like very chill. I showed up just incidentally at the NCGR Saturday study group as a clown, but only because Jay-Z and I and a bunch of people were making videos before that. But I don't think we've come on as clowns on any other shows, unless it was before my time.
We could start having themes on Everything Under the Sun, which we'll talk about in the second part of this meeting. But we could start having themes like, fairy theme or whatever, and then we could maybe dress to those themes. But for now, it's just casual. And you'll get an email during the day with the link, and then I'll tell you what the theme is, kind of thing, if there is a theme.
Sounds good. Yeah. I can make videos, so I'll just start making some videos that are relevant to what your topics are for the days, and I'll send them to you first, Andy, and see what you think if they fit, if that's what you got in mind, and
Okay.
play
All right.
around.
Well, let us know if you have any questions this week, and we can also talk about anything next Monday. You're just getting started, so just try out a week with us and see how it feels, and then let us know if you have any questions or comments.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have anything before we go into like today's lesson? Okay, today's production lesson is on event production. So we've talked about videos, we've talked about Facebook production, we've talked about costuming, we've talked about scripts, we've talked about sketches. But today we're talking about event production, and this is because I went to a conference this weekend and I went to a workshop on event production, and I thought we should really learn this stuff. So I'm just going to go through the lessons of what I kind of learned in that workshop. So this was actually coming from a FatCon event where they're doing like fat activism community, but it's all about building community, and we're building, I guess, an astrology community. The Moira Press community, I guess, is what you would call this, but you could call it an astrological remediation community. But I think it's just the community of people. I don't know, we might want to have a production meeting where we define like what community are we building? Like what is this community exactly? It seems to be astrology meets art. That's one thing I've noticed. Is like, the Hellenistic astrologers are kind of astrology meets history. And then there's like the evolutionary astrologers, which is astrology and reincarnation stuff. I feel like we're the art astrologers. Does anyone disagree with that? Okay. So I feel like it's like art, remedies, stuff like that. Anyway, they were saying is that event production builds community. That's why you do it. Now we know that Pluto's in Aquarius, so communities are a thing for everyone at large right now. They're going through Jay-Z's 11th, Jenna's 11th, so it's strongly building community for 20 years. It's going through my 9th, which is kind of why it's a school, because I committed to like education with Pluto going through my 9th, but it is a community. It's a school community, right? So you just have to look at, and I think for you, Kimber, it's in 5. So a creative community would be, something like that. And then Mickey, what house is Aquarius for you? 5. Okay. So then, yeah, a creative community would make sense there. So just thinking about we're building community with these events. And so they were saying you can have a big event, like a huge astrology conference, But what they said is building community actually happens with a bunch of small, consistent events. And I think that that's where we're really strong. We have live streams every day, we have everything under the sun, we have open mics, we have all these little events. And so, what we're actually doing is building a community by doing that, according to these people. Um, so they say, like, if you're going to do an event, just find one other person and then hold the event as a team. And that's what we've done here. Like, Jenna and Kimber run the Monday live stream. You know, Jenna and I do the Everything Under the Sun. Jay-Z and I do Course in Miracles on Sundays. So if you want to hold an event at the Moyer Press, just find a buddy and then say, we want to hold X event, kind of thing. But don't necessarily do it alone, because it's like two's a party or three's a party, basically. So if only one person shows up to your event and there's two of you, then it's like, okay, we got a party going on. They did say we could look for people who already have small communities and bring them in. I feel like kind of that happened with Jenna a little bit, because Jenna kind of had her own community and then came in, but we could look for other disparate astrology communities and invite them in. Does anyone have any comments about those thoughts? Okay, so they said build an online. What?
Yeah. Because we're still small, I would be careful in inviting in something that was too big, because then it would kind of like there would be a possibility of kind of like diluting what it is that we're doing, you know? So I kind of like not necessarily trying to grow this community through like mergers and acquisitions, but rather like grow it organically by choosing certain people who will like take it in the direction that we're headed already.
Okay, nice.
Speak of the devil.
Oh yeah. Hey, Sparkle.
Sorry, I'm late. I didn't see your message until.
Oh yeah. Yeah, right on. I forgot to remind you last night too.
You need a reminder to do the reminder.
Yeah.
Okay, so they said start small. This is the secret, and it's funny because we look big. Look, there's 7 of us here. That's actually we're getting kind of big, but these are the small years when we can actually all get to each other. And like, you think about when it gets really big, then there's a lot of people in the chat. It's a different feel, but I do think there's going to be a core group of us who can always get to each other because we're the production crew, right? And so the smallness is like how you start, because intimacy builds connection. So we actually are building real friendships right now. But if you have a small event, okay, one of the dangers of holding events is low attendance. Like, that's what they said. They said the worst thing one of the worst things that happens at your event is low attendance. And what they said is, if there's low attendance, look at it as a good thing where you can build intimacy with like a small intimate gathering. So I want to make the case that every live stream we do, every episode is an event. And how big or small it is, if there's only one person in the chat, that's your event. And you're like, oh no, only one person was in the chat. Well, we should look at that as, okay, in that one episode, we built a stronger connection with whoever was in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about that, the low numbers thing?
I think it's a very positive way of looking at it. And also the fact that we record and upload to YouTube for people can watch it later, I think is like, don't get stuck on the live viewers.
Right. Yeah, I think what we've talked about with Jay-Z is like, okay, we're going to do the best we can. And then you got to let God be in charge of the numbers. Like, you could do everything. Like, we had a Horary Astrology live stream that got 360 views. Why? I don't know. I don't know if it's the topic. I don't know if it's because it was a holiday day. I have no idea. Like, we think some things are going to hit big and they're like tiny, and like some things we think are tiny are going to hit big. Like, you just never know what your event. And so if we can get our heart flowing openly and keep our heart chakras open, even if there's small numbers, I think we'll have a really good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Jenna, too, of like, because we're recording this, we're kind of like building our opus. We're kind of building a library and a catalog. And I know with things that I've found too, like oh, I discovered something on YouTube, and then I'm like, oh, I want to go back and watch their past episodes. So if they, if we had no past episodes, then the people wouldn't have the ability, and I, as a viewer of other people, wouldn't have the ability to do that. And also, like, when I do go back and look, I don't want to watch episodes of somebody bemoaning the fact that nobody's there. Like, it's like kind of lame, right?
Yeah.
So we don't know what anything is for, as in one of my favorite Course in Miracles lessons. Like, if we do an episode, we don't know if that episode is for the one person in the chat, for the 20 people in the chat, for us, for the person that comes later on, for the ability to take excerpts from that thing later or then. Like, we have no idea why we're doing anything.
I think on a larger level, we're building a community of astrology that we like. I mean, you know, and that's arts and astrology. I mean, we're producing astrology actors. We love doing that, right? So we're a community of astrologers who are taking astrology to TV and acting as astrologers. And yeah, like if there's one person in the chat, maybe that, who knows? I mean, I don't know. You guys get the point. Is like, that's the worst thing. Well, that's not the worst thing that's going to happen. You might get in a fight with someone there. You might put your foot in your mouth. You guys saw me do that at the open mic, and I had to make an amends afterwards. And then we made a policy change because of it. But it's like, yeah, there are dangers of throwing events. Like, you might have a tiff with somebody, but as far as the low numbers thing, we will never look at you here and be like, you got low numbers. We'll be like, all right, way to try. Like, all right, good job on that, and kind of thing.
Theater company goes out to do what they have to do, even if there are 2 people in the house, and they do it as if there are 100 people in the house.
Right. Can I mention, Andy? I did a little video with an author. We had 68 views, which seemed like a lot to me. I was really happy. It was views, nobody was live. We just put the video up. He got invited by somebody from Mensa and did a convention with 1,500 people.
Wow.
Yeah. And, it's like all it takes is one person to see it and be turned on by it. And then they share it with other people. And you never know what people are turned on by.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z, were you going to say something?
No.
Okay. So, really good points on that one. Okay. So I think we got our narcissist pants pulled up tight. Okay. All right. The thing is, our happiness pants, I should say. Okay. As far as the structure of like what time, okay, because I've had people tell me that the Tuesday class is too late for me and this and that, and I thought, should we change the time? Well, what they say is no. They say structure helps people say yes. So you just tell people our show's at noon on Mondays. If they can't make it, they can't make it. They can watch it later. But should we waffle to the crowd? No, we should decide what the event is and the time, and that's you put it on.
Yeah.
Pick something you want to do. Pick a topic you want to talk about. You want to hear. We wanted to have an open mic because we wanted us to all like perform art. So we did that. But, so when you're thinking of an event, if you want to put on an event at the Moyer Press, we will help you, but just pick something that you want to do. If Mickey wants to do a consciousness panel or a consciousness club, that's fine. We will help you and support you and market it on the Facebook and things like that, but it's something that you want to do.
Cool. I do.
Yeah, I think another good example of this is the Show Your Work book, because like literally I just wanted to read this book and talk about it with my friends, and that's how it started. And so things don't have to be forever running series either. Andy, you and I decided like, all right, we're going to run this as like a 10 episode thing, break it into the 10, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And feel free to approach us at production meetings with ideas, with pitches, I guess you could say. So like, I want to do XYZ event. Can we do that as a crew? I think the more alphas in this room, the better. I mean, we're a collective basically. And so if you have something, bring it to us.
Is the Show Your Work jams only for Show Your Work people?
No, the
No.
project night.
Yeah.
No. The project night's supposed to be kind of like the open mic night that like anybody come to just like, yeah, show whatever project it is they're working on.
Cool. Okay. That's Friday, so everyone knows.
Nice.
Oh yeah, right on.
Okay, don't try to be everything to everybody. Okay, JC and I had a long talk about this yesterday. Some people aren't going to like your your event. We got feedback from one viewer that our open mic made them extremely uncomfortable. And I was just like, all right, then leave. Like, get out of the room. Like, I don't know. We're having a blast, right? He's like, public displays of music that aren't perfect and aren't recorded make me uncomfortable. Like,
That must have been a reaction to me singing.
no.
That's really funny. That's what made them uncomfortable?
Yeah, but JC made the point that there's two different roles. The event producer is there to produce an event, and then the attendee is there to either like or dislike the event.
Yeah.
If they don't like it, what? Bye, Felicia. Get out of the room. I mean,
It's
are
funny
we just feel
People
bad?
like when people bomb. Usually.
Really?
People like on that Kill Tony, that's like the biggest comedy open mic podcast. Like the audience loves when people bomb, so like do poorly. So that's interesting that we had feedback that it was hard to watch people that weren't perfect.
Oh, dude, critics are a thing we fight in show business all the time. There's always going to be the critics, and I actually kick them out. I'm like, just get out of here. Like, yeah. Sorry, Mickey.
No, I'm just thinking, yeah, get out of here.
Yeah. Like our show is actually not a perfection show. Like I know how to make perfection. We have a producer with 3 Planets in Virgo, Billy Anderson, and like I did an album with him. I spent 4 hours in the studio and spent months doing waveforms. So I have an album. It's like, I don't know. I'm just not interested in that thing. We're like a piano bar show. Like we're not trying for perfection. That's not our show. Anyway. But anyway, the point is, don't try to be everything to everybody. If somebody doesn't like your show, oh well, Okay, this is a big one, you guys. Field trips. Okay, so they would take field trips. They would take a bunch of people and go to a different event. And you know how we were talking about going to Clown Topia or Clown Virgins, the clowning conference online in April? That's a Moira Press field trip. We're like, Moira Press at Clown Virgins. But we could also go to different online astrology events, like the Moira Press shows up at X event. What do you guys think of that idea?
We sort of did that with Astro Dice.
Oh yeah, we did.
Like, in my opinion.
Yeah, there was a few of us there.
Yeah, and it was funny because then the next time when I went, like I just happened to go the immediate next time. They saw me and they said, "Is Andy coming?" So they like already thought of us as like a crew, if that makes sense. And I think that speaks volumes when you show up somewhere with your little group.
Yeah. So if anyone has an event they want us to go to as a group, maybe we all can't make it, but like whoever can go can go. That's a thing we could start doing.
Yeah, we went to Astro Society of Kentucky things. We could talk to Scott Silverman again and see what's on the calendar for that. And actually, he's been texting, I think, since he got the wedding invitation. And we should invite him in to some
I
of
invited him to the open mic, but yeah, he got confused at the time. Who is Zoom in on images?
Yeah, I know. I want to know too.
Dude, squad is such a good term, like with the Moira Press squad. Like, because we are like a squad.
Oh, wait, that's Christopher, my friend Christopher Baker. Is he in the chat?
Yeah.
Christopher, can we talk about your chart? No, I'm just kidding.
There's also something they would call a takeover, like Moira Press takes over XYZ. That's kind of political and activisty. I don't think we want to take stuff over unless there is something political we want to do. Then we could do a takeover. But that's just a thought. Like if somebody's making like mean predictions on their podcast, we could do a takeover in the chat and just talk about remediation or something. Like we could do things like that.
Like we're like, help is on the way, and we just come in and remediate everything.
Yeah, totally, or something like that. So we could do takeovers. Let's see. It takes time. People don't show up at first. We know that. Keep showing up. They said consistency is everything. Like, let's see. Bring friends and take pictures. So, like, if you have an event, you can take pictures of it and then share the fun you're having. I think we do that by live streaming. That is the picture, but we do when we do events like when we do clown movies and stuff. We take B-roll pictures of it and be like, "This is so fun," you know, kind of thing.
I think AI art too, like when we were doing the face smashes, Andy, and your crystal dress. Like I think that can serve as almost like selfies when we're hanging out. Yeah.
Oh, I love that on the Facebook. If we make AI art of each other, that's really fun.
People get so confused. Yeah, it's great.
Like I cut and pasted Jenna's face on a Greek god because she was like, you know, stuff like that. Like that's fun. All right, you can screen people. They said that they screen people all the time, and this is us screening people. The fact that we're saying if you don't want your chart shared, maybe you don't want to be in this squad or this room or whatever. That's okay to screen people, and I, you know, as we get bigger, especially screening is going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can grow to bigger events like putting on an online conference or something. Maybe that's a few years down the road, but there is stuff we can grow into. So those are thoughts. So those are the lessons I had. Any conversation about event production?
We have a giant live event coming up in September that many of us are going to. UAC.
UAC.
Yeah.
WordPress squad at UAC.
I really think we should try to like motivate absolutely everyone to be there, including Alexander.
Oh, there's no way he would go.
Chicago.
And I'm only going for the first.
Where is it?
Chicago.
Chicago. Oh, it's in Chicago. Oh, I could go to that one.
Yeah, come to UAC. Even if you don't. Sorry.
Depends on where the troops are.
Well,
Like,
Kimber's
that
going, Andy's going, I'm going, Jay-Z is
Yeah,
99% going.
Yeah.
You're going?
Yeah, I'll go. I don't know why I haven't moved on it yet, just because.
I think today's the last day for the discounted price.
Oh, I'm not going to the conference. I'm just going to stay at the hotel room with you guys.
Stop.
We'll get your hotel room soon. You can hang out at the table with me the whole time.
Yeah, and hang out at the table. Yeah, I don't want to go to any of the conference. Like,
So really, you think today's the last day for the discount?
I got an email to that effect earlier. Let me look again. Maybe I erased it because I bought my ticket the day they came out.
Do you guys think that the live streams are considered events?
Yeah.
yes.
If there are people that are in a group together,
I think
Yeah.
if we're and if we're responding, if you're like responding to the chat, then yes.
My God, it's Christopher.
Christopher.
Hello,
hey.
everyone.
Hi, Christopher.
Hi, Christopher. Do you want to come to the UAC conference?
Maybe.
It's in Chicago. Yeah, today's the last day to get it for the member price of $395. Then it's going to jump $50 tomorrow.
Okay. I don't know what it is. I just kind of joined out of curiosity, and I miss Jim C a little bit, so I just kind of say hello.
I love that.
Christopher, you're not an astrologer, are you?
No. I'm just tuning in.
He says he doesn't have a chart, so
I mean, I have a chart, but I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm sure I have one. I was born.
definitely have one.
Christopher's
from
an
another
artist.
dimension.
Christopher's an artist as well, and he's also active on he has a Facebook page where he just zooms in on like images, and then also has a series of pictures of broken umbrellas that are left behind.
Yeah, that was a good. Yeah, I do some art stuff. Yeah. Anyway,
Maybe you want to join us for some of the art events, like the open mics and stuff.
Yeah. I'll text you, Christopher, too, about the Wednesday show, the Show Your Work show. I think you'd really dig that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll talk to you I'll text you. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, I'll tune in. I'll hang out for a little bit and kind of listen to what's going on. And if you have any questions, let me know.
Okay, cool. So I think if we're noticing, we do several kinds of production here. We do video production on YouTube. We do our own video production. We do live stream production. We do clowning and art production, and now we're doing event production. Anyone have any comments about any of that? Okay, field trips we thought of for the next thing we can do, go to film conferences together, clowning conventions, astrology events. JC, we went to that live streaming workshop together. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we had this other idea. Remember that other idea of like we could do something where we live stream each from our own town, but in like a similar place. Like we'll have a theme and be like parks by the water, and then we each like live stream from there together.
Mhm.
We could do things like that.
We are doing the clown live stream where we're in the different rooms of the clowns are in like the Aries room, the Taurus room, the Gemini room. So if anyone sees that and they want to join that as a clown, we will be every ingress. We're going to be in the different room for the like that was inspired by this piece of art, which is all the different rooms. Like here's the Aries room and here's the Taurus room, and so we're going to make life-size rooms for the clowns to be in. So we're going to be doing that production.
So as a
That's
12th
on-
house person, can
we're
I be a
starting-
mime?
What is it?
As a 12th house person, can I be a mime?
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
We're not starting the clown rooms until Aries season, right?
Right.
That's the first one, and I'm coming to your house, Jay-Z.
Yeah, we're gonna do it here, IRL. The Northeast contingent.
Like an ongoing reporter thing where a person shows up and says, I'm in the Aries room right now and I'm talking to, and that
Oh,
and then
yeah.
lead into whatever clown is in the Aries room.
Ooh. Ooh, that is a good
Are
one.
our clowns silent?
Only the mime clowns.
I thought, yeah,
Your clowns have been silent on
Yeah,
the
we've been
videos you've
silent.
made.
But we
What
sing.
I was thinking clowns are silent.
Me too. But it's different than the mime clown, like because like Stardoll says some stuff like when she's marrying Billy, she's like she kind of talks to the camera. That's different than Mickey's character, who could be like totally a mime, you know.
And maybe Mickey, I don't know how you feel about being recorded singing, but like our clowns all sing, right? Sort of, because we are the background music.
Oh, cool. Sure.
Oh yeah, Mickey, we will need you, and Kimber too. We will need you to pick a theme song. Like Jenna's theme song is "She Talks to Angels" because her by Black Crows. But if you have a clown theme, we can write a theme song for you, or you can have a theme song.
What's Jay-Z's theme song?
Send in the clowns.
Shaft.
Of course.
Oh, that's right, because I sang that one for
No,
you.
you should come up with one, and we should do a Z0 transformation video.
Yeah, we should. That put it on the list. Yeah. Yeah, we should.
I already call My God Has a Telephone as my follow-up.
Ooh.
Yep.
Dang.
All right, you guys. As far as go ahead, Jeezy.
Well, I was just what Alexander said really inspired me about like the reporter thing. We could have some like little astrological forecast set that looks like a news set, you know, and to play around with something like that. That would be kind of fun.
Nice. If you think of stuff, we can always put it on next quarter's programming because we have the programming set for this quarter. But you know, whatever we think of, we can put on the next quarter, or we can squeeze it into this quarter. But this quarter's pretty full. But start thinking of stuff, thinking of events. Think of like with Show Your Work. We booked that out a few months ahead of time. Like Jay-Z wanted to do it, and then we booked it like 2 months later. So if you have an event, if you have a class you want to run, anything you want to do, bring that to us next week or whenever. Or email or what have you. Mickey, thank you for being here.
Thanks. Nice for meeting everybody.
Yeah, wicked excited to work with you.
Good to see you, Julie. Nice to see you, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
cool.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Bye.
night.